Republican because when I was young, I looked at the two parties, and one party just seemed to make common sense. There was one party that was for rugged individualism. There was one party that was for the rights of the individuals to do for themselves. There was one party that believed in charity, but believed that it wasn't government that was responsible to take care of people, but that people had to help themselves and each other, and that government oftentimes became a hindrance instead of a help. I think it's hard to give one person credit for developing my principles. It's just come from my beliefs and principles have come from my short lifetime of experiences from the good people who were my teachers and Boy Scout leaders and football coaches as in elementary and high school, to the friends I developed in high school and at church and in college, to the elected officials that once I got into college, the elected officials that I was blessed enough to get to meet and to talk with and to deal with and learn the ins and outs of the political process. And that's really what has developed over time my political philosophy. It is not hard for me to be known as a Republican, but I do understand that being an African American in the South, in Memphis, Tennessee, a lot of people don't understand, well, why would you be a Republican? Why would you do this? But what a lot of people don't realize is that most people like me, most African Americans, have values that are very much in line with the Republican Party. People are good, God-fearing, family-loving people. They believe in one man, one wife. They believe in two-parent families. They believe in teaching children discipline and teaching children to respect one another and respect their elders and to work hard and to achieve. I'm a Republican because of the values, the conservative values of the Republican Party. Because when I was young and I looked at it, one party just didn't make a whole lot of sense and the other one did. Now, as I've grown and matured, my thoughts and opinions on things have changed a little bit. I grew up very much, I think they're called rush babies now. I would come home get off of school, and my mom would pick me up and not sit in the car, and Rush would be on, and he'd have all his parodies and things, and we'd laugh and laugh about different things that were going on. And as time, it made sense. And as I've grown and learned, I don't believe Rush is 96% of the right, 90% right 96% of the time, but he probably is right 70, 80% of the time. I've matured. I've looked deeper in issues than I once did as a child. And I know there's some people out there who probably have not looked as deep into issues as I have, who've not gone beyond the visceral name of a bill or what the propaganda out there is. And so, yeah, there'll be extremists out there. There'll be people out there who I don't necessarily agree with. But I know there's more people on the other side that are just as extreme. I know there's more people on the other side who are more concerned about winning than they are about doing what's right. And just like there are people on my side who are concerned about winning instead of doing what's right. And it's incumbent upon any of us who may be not as to the far right or to the far left to come together and to be involved in the political process, because in the middle is where people govern. It doesn't matter how to the right or to the left your presidential candidate is. When they get in office, especially in an executive position, they've got to govern from somewhere near the middle. Now, we know Barack Obama is a little far left than anyone in my lifetime, but still, it's much more to the middle than the people who elected him. And those of us who may be considered in the middle or moderate, it's up to us to be involved and to make sure that we're working to get things done and not just working to fight and be the winner all the time. Republicans have many opportunities to make an impact. I think as we're talking about the Shelby County Republican Party, we're talking about Memphis and Shelby County. There are a lot of things facing our community, a lot of issues, but clearly the three biggest issues, and they're circular and they affect everything else, is education, crime, and jobs. It is important that we as a party and we as a community as a whole focus in on those three issues and what we can do to fix those issues. Clearly, education is a huge issue, and it's evident by the system that we have now. Throwing money at the problem is not the issue, is not the answer. We are going to have to take it on ourselves, not just only as a party, not just as a community, but as individuals, to get in our school system and help the children to learn. And kudos to our chairman for getting involved in the Memphis Urban Debate League and helping out. And I hope this will serve as an inspiration to many of you out there to get involved in the school system. That's the base problem. Then there's crime, and I don't know the answer to crime. We've got our district attorney, who's a candidate for governor, who has stressed that we need tougher penalties, that we're sending people to jail, but they're not staying in jail, and we need to have stronger deterrence to crime, and we need to make sure that we punish those who commit these violent acts. And so I'm hopeful that his campaign will push that issue and will help us, help our state legislators to act on such issues. And then, of course, there's jobs. Jobs, you know, if we have a safer community and if we have a better educated workforce, I believe the jobs will come. But that's something that I think those two issues, along with elected officials, mayors, councilmen, county commissioners, working together, I think we need a better economic development program. But I think for the individuals out there, we've got to get into the school systems, whether it's through a mentoring program or whatever, after-school daycare. We've got to make sure that a higher percentage of the children in this community are prepared for the next level, for the next day, prepared to be productive citizens. But the Republican Party can be a very diverse and reflective place of the community once the members of the party choose to focus in on the issues that people who are not in the party might be focused in on. Immigration is a big issue with a lot of people. Abortion is a big issue with a lot of people. Gay rights and lack of gay rights is a big issue with a lot of people. But we need to, as a party, start to think about what is our health care policy? What is our education policy? We need to start dealing with more. We don't need to, our values are great, but we need to learn to focus on the community as a whole. I am a Republican because I decided a long time ago that I want to be involved in the governmental process. And after getting involved in the government process and how our leadership in our communities works, I decided that while I may not 100% agree with everything that the Republican Party stands for all the time, clearly it is the best vehicle to moving our nation, our state, our community in the right direction. I would encourage anyone out there, if you really want to see a change, look at the two parties. Get involved. Talk to elected officials. Talk to activists, people involved. Figure out what side you're going to be on, whether it's Republican or Democrat. Figure out what side you're going to be on, and then get involved. That doesn't mean go vote. Going and voting is the baseline, the simplest thing to do. But that doesn't make you a citizen. You become a citizen when you get involved in your government. You don't have to go to every city council meeting. You know what's going on, and you should try to be involved, to have an understanding of what's going on, have a relationship with elected officials, with other government officials, and be an intelligent voter. Thank you.